kiddo, what's the deal? What's the deal, huh? I mean, we have these discussions all the time. Yeah, so they ate the entire core out, but they left the rest. Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to Ohrmundt Simmentals. All right, it is Saturday afternoon, and Dad and I took a little road trip this morning. Kind of drove around to the local Swiderski dealers, hit a couple of them, just kind of checking out some of their used tractors, because sometimes they will have stuff on the lot that's not necessarily on their site. All right, so I'm just kind of scoping stuff out. I've been watching the cameras and we have not seen really any kind of activity, but I just started the 29. We took a lunch, but we really wanted to watch the end of the Badger basketball game. Then they went into overtime, and so I took just a couple extra minutes, but I got 29 started, so we're gonna take it down to the shop and pull it inside, just to start kind of warming it up and all that good stuff. But we'll take a look at these girls and just kind of see how everybody's doing here. Actually, little Cora May's got herself a nice little bag going. This number 10, she is a Bruno daughter, out of our top grade Lucky Dice. 99% sure that that's our one. She's got a little ways to go yet though, I think. Just a little bit. But she's got herself a nice bag going. Little Cora May's got a nice one going. I'm not gonna get up the Bold Ruler McFats. She's fine. She's got a little ways to go yet. And then our mic drop, our 431, who I believe is got a money maker in her. She's got a little bit of a ways to go too. Yeah, she's got a little bit of, her back end's making more progress than her bag is, which is fine. But we'll go back and check on the little guy and see how he's doing. I have seen him up a bunch, but I do want to take a good look at him because it was pretty chilly this morning. Now, it would not surprise me if it takes her a couple days to kind of get back into the milk production cycle. But she should have a pretty good supply in there, and at least for him, he's so small. So we got the 29 in the shop. The biggest thing we want to do is replace the seat. I mean, the thing's over 10 years old, and admittedly the tractor does spend more time outside than it should. So that's probably the biggest thing. It probably doesn't need anything for fluid changes, and then kind of just clean it up. We kind of had talked maybe some of the fenders, scuffing them up and painting them, so maybe we'll do that. But just kind of getting it cleaned up a little bit and getting it ready to go and see what we can get for it. Because the plan is we'd like to sell this and then upgrade a little bit. Something a little bit more horsepower. These are about 85 horsepower, give or take a little bit. But we also want to get something. We want to get something around that 100 horsepower, but also with a cab. The other thing that we still have on the list is this guy. We got to prime this yet, but we were waiting for that to cure. And that looks to be good to go because that was last weekend. So yeah, we won't spend too much time in here today. This is more just getting it down here. Probably not even going to make a fire, but we'll see. Okay, so we got the door is primed. I just went all the way up to that point. Should stick fine. I don't think we're having any issues long term. The other side's already done. So the lighter stuff is that turbo can, and I ended up running out of it. So the darker stuff is a different primer. And hopefully we don't have issues with that. But I don't really think we will. But so then tonight I will grab a couple more cans of the gloss charcoal gray. So that is ready for tomorrow. And the 29 is for the most part dripped off. Still some wet spots, but the snow is melted off. And then we'll load up the fire at least long enough. It's not super cold out, long enough so that this stuff can kind of dry and set up decent and be ready for tomorrow. For today, the calves could use a little bit of bedding, but we've been stretching out their bale feeders for a while now, and they're due for a clean out. Yes, we could put covers on them, but we don't feel that we waste a lot of hay in these feeders. But over time, you know, if they say waste waste like 5%, that 5% builds up over time, and we're gonna pull them out and clean them out. So there's good hay left in here a little bit, but you get like an inch below this and it's stuff that's been in here for about 3 weeks. So Dad's got the manure bucket on, and we're gonna clean these out and we'll use it as bedding so it doesn't get wasted completely. So it does get a little bit tricky because if you push too hard, you will bend the panel. Experience. And the fact that it's second crop, it's got so much short cuts in it that either it'll sift out nice or Dad can put it in a pile and pull it apart pretty decent. Depends on how it falls off when he tries to sift. With all the animals drinking there, get a lot of water build up there. So every once in a while, got to chip it out. So I can actually use our chain here. Little guy is doing really well, especially once he got on Mom. I mean, he's like the way he should have been on Wednesday. And he's got his little Gen X jacket on. That is a Gen X small, and he's about 60 pounds. So if you're in the market, that's how you can gauge it. I think unless you're getting consistently 110 plus calves, you probably only need, if your average is like 60 to 90, if that's your normal range, smalls, maybe a medium, but that'd be about it. And took one last look at the heifers to see, you know, just to remind myself who's probably going to be next. And it's going to be that number 10. And now that I say it, it won't be number 10, but it'll probably be number 10. But whatever, that's enough for today. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Hey, good morning. All right, we're in the shop again. But we want to start working on the 29. But as you can hear, heater's running and I got to get a fire going. And we might have to go find ourselves some wood. We're running a little low on actual chunks to burn. But we do have another 5-gallon jug of diesel over there somewhere. I just checked it yesterday, so definitely the heater could run for a while, but we'll get this guy running. We'll get a fire going. So seat is off. What we're doing now is we don't have any threaded rod, but we got some rod and we got some bolts. And these side panels are held on with a chunk of threaded rod that goes from here over to here. And the other side hasn't had one for a little bit. So that's what Dad's working on. So we took a chunk of rod, welded a nut, 5/16 nut to it, and then welded a chunk of 1/4 to the end of it. So we should have plenty of thread on the other side. That's a little mismatch with the 5/16, but it should be just fine. And then we'll buff it up in that spot because it needs to go through like a little grip. There is like a, or was like a rod, you can actually see it here. So it's would go through like this little push pin and then grab right here. But we replaced the other side with a threaded rod. It's so much easier. And then this will get the same thing. So this guy is all secured in place. These two panels, side panels, have never really fit the greatest. The way like they come up, plus they're fiberglass, the way they come up and then they're split in the center. When they're up, when they're both up, they kind of like cross paths. So it's hard to get them down in there, and they are very snug, but we got that in there. It's fastened, it's nice and tight, it's more snug, it's snugger than it was before. So then we went over and I did some painting. So I got a couple more rattle cans of that charcoal gray paint, and yeah, it turned out pretty good. So this is one of those that have the like multiple different painting configurations. So it does have a vertical, the ones that aren't white or clear are the vertical and a horizontal. So that's pretty nice. But went on good. Used almost a half a can on it. But I didn't really skimp. Actually, there's a little, it's a little light right in the center. I might actually hit that again. But yeah, that job is done. So right before I take a little lunch break, I am going to take a look at these cows. Because Dad and I keep saying to each other, all right, what's the deal with Barb? Because technically she's like 5 days late. Now, if you kind of look at how you calculate due dates, it's a little bit of a crapshoot. I mean, some breeds will calculate it like a 284. Some breeds will calculate for like, you know, as late as 289, and that's expected due dates. So that's kind of why they always say plus or minus 14 days. Obviously, our Eagle daughter definitely push the limits on that. We always, and I always say, typically ours will go plus or minus 5 days. Now, full bloods are still a little bit new to us. So even if you calculated it for a 287, she's only 4 days over, you know. That really doesn't seem that bad. So yeah, she's 5 days over, but you can definitely tell she is gonna calve within a couple of days. But, you know, we check everybody out. Cora May, she's getting a little more swollen in the back end, and her bag is coming along. I mean, it is not going to be a massive bag by any stretch of the matter, but that's all right as long as it gets the job done. And we'll just let her sit. She's going to be a third calver, and hopefully there's not twins in there. I don't want to deal with twins. This is the one. This is our Bruno daughter, and I think she's going to be next. Hopefully after Cher. And she has got herself a nice bag going on. But I still think she's got a little ways to go. So for her to go like even 2 more days, I think would be very, very appropriate. And then she would be literally calving 2 days before her due date. The mic drop, I think she's going pretty much right on due date. She's got a little ways to go yet. First calf heifers typically will calve a couple days before due date. That is definitely not a surprise. But like if you took same cow, same bull, and compared her from how she calved as a heifer versus how she calved as a second calf, third, fourth, fifth, that first calf, and if let's just say they're all heifers for all of them or all bulls, she would typically calve a little bit 1 or 2 days earlier than she would if it was her second, third, or fourth, or fifth calf. So that dude is doing really good. He's got to go around the horn, but that's all right. He's definitely getting it done. And then there's Barb, who is definitely making progress. It's not like she's not close. She's definitely close. Kiddo, what's the deal? What's the deal, huh? I mean, we have these discussions all the time. Do you really want to hang on to it? No, I don't think you do. Let's get it out. Let's get it over with. I mean, unless you're waiting for warmer temps this week, mid-30s. If that's it, then I guess we're all right. All right. So also ordered some new tag pens. I'm gonna try this brand. It was on Amazon. What is it? Vet. It was on Amazon. Vet Plus. Never been super excited about the Witex markers. I think I do have an Allflex pen in there, but I needed new pens anyways, so I just ordered them. They do come with the reversible tips, so you can use the fine tip side or you can use the coarse tip. I usually have one pen of each, so I can write, like, I always do the sire on the top, and then I use the bold one and I do their number. I also do have more tags on order. I have been a little bit of a chicken when it comes to deciding if I'm going to try and order like a little laser engraving machine and see if I can, like an Amazon type of little laser engraving machine, and try and do my own tags. So, especially if I could get them out of like the Ritchie tags. I think if they were done really, really well, that would be cool. But I think a lot of those get like engraved, like not necessarily laser cut. I'm not sure. I got to watch a few more videos. There's not a whole lot of them out there with people doing that. But I could do onesie twos. I mean, we only run like, 30 some odd calves, a little over 30 calves a year. So to do that many tags, it's not really a big deal. So we have got one little segment of bales, first crop, that these cows are not crazy about. They ate half of one bale and only like a quarter of another bale. But lucky for us, the bulls need bedding. We didn't throw any of the hay in for them yesterday. That ended up being bedding for the calves, the other group. So we're gonna grab that core out of there. Dad's gonna set it aside. We're gonna grab a bale, replace that, a decent bale, and then that'll become bull bedding. What's funny is they ate the whole entire core out of it and left the outside. So it's possible that was like a completely different style of hay, or even a different field. Yeah, so they ate the entire core out, but they left the rest. I mean, this isn't super bad. There's some like marshier grass in there, but there must just be something in there that they don't like. Eventually they would eat it, but honestly, we got a purpose for that, and we'll just give them a different bale. It's not a huge deal. All right, how does a T-post end up right there, right next to the feeder, on the ground? How does that happen? There's no way you baled this up in a baler. I don't even know how you would rake this up. How did you go over it with a disc bine? How did you go over it with the rake? And then how'd you go over it with the baler? I don't know how the hell that got there. It was not there the other day. That is weird. I mean, there is nothing wrong with the baler. I mean, unless somehow it was one of just like a massive windrow and it got sucked up in there. I don't know. That is freaking weird. So the boys need to do a little work for us. Yeah, I can't do anything with that. One, it's very, very long stemmy stuff, and without having a core, I can't move it. And they're in there playing with it. So the hope is that they'll play around some more and spread it apart. They started to. We tried to get them to come over to this side to push it that way, but they didn't want to play along. So hopefully they do that and they help us out. Before I leave, I'll go back in there and try and fork some more around, but the bulk of it, I can't move it. Without the core, it sucks. But it's better served in there. They'll nibble on it, they'll move it around. It'll eventually get spread out. All right, so the first tag is gonna be LP913. ES is for essential. That's what I kind of came up with. Yeah, it looks like a 5, but whatever, you know what it means. So, yeah, we will tag and weigh him tomorrow. So LP, so this year's letter is P. What was last year? N was last year. They skip O because it's so close to 0 in visual. So they go right to P. And for us, P is kind of a big letter for us. We kind of made a little bit of an investment with some P animals, going back to the Erwin Haschel days. Erwin, if I've mentioned him before, we bought some bulls from Erwin. We've bought a few heifers from Erwin over the years. Haven't been down there in like 10 years, mostly because we've done so much AI stuff that we really haven't needed to go that route. We had bought some P letter heifers. There were 5 of them. They were all red. They were all registered. All right, it is Sunday. It is the end of the day, and it is Super Bowl Sunday. So I want to get in the house, get changed, get ready to go, relax, enjoy the game. I've tried to avoid the commercials because I hate it that you can watch the commercials before the Super Bowl. That's the whole flipping point. Should be a halfway decent game, and it should be at least decent background noise if I don't like it. So Hope you guys liked the video. Please smash that like button on your way out. If you got any questions, please leave them in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe. Help support us here at Ohrmundt Simmentals and help us get to our goal of 4,000 subs by the end of the year. And as always, thanks.